What does it mean not to disrespect? I mean, where is the disrespect coming from?
You make your point, but then having made your point, you recognise for the country it's a really important event.
So don't wear an armband.
Well, I think you can make a protest in whatever way you want, but the important thing is to, for example, I think it is sensible of people to say that of course you should engage with the country and be prepared to be there at the tournament and so on.
Yeah, so we've heard in the last few days that Transport for London is banning ads from the Qataris on the tube network, on buses and the like.
Yeah, I think we're in danger of going over the top on this. I mean, because remember the last time we held the World Cup here in England, at that time in 1966, being homosexual was still illegal.
That was 55 years ago.
Right, of course, but that's to say the point is countries change and they move. And I think there'll probably be quite a big difference between the people who've actually visited Qatar in the last 10 years and the people who haven't. And if you have visited, and I have reasonably regularly, I mean, there is a process of change. Is it happening quick enough? No, you always wanted it to happen quicker. But there is this process of change happening across the Middle East, and I think it's just important to recognise that, even if you make perfectly reasonable points about the state of their law as it is today.
But is banning ads gesture politics?
I think it is, to be frank about it, because also the thing is, it all depends whether you're a campaigning organisation or a government, right? And I think it's important if you're a government that the difficulty is if you're going to take a consistent position. I mean, when you go across the world and see the numbers of countries with a progressive position on gay rights, which, let me repeat, I 100% support.
It's not just gay rights, is it? It's migrant workers' rights. It's the corruption that we think surrounded the bid process itself. It's people saying we don't like the way this whole thing has been set up.
And I understand that, but I still think it's important that we recognise that for them this is a huge. I mean, you can argue about how they got the bid and so on and so forth, but the fact is, it's happening now. They've done it, and I think. They're staging it. It's important, I think, now that we, having made the point, we move on.
If a sports minister decided to go to a game in Qatar wearing a One Love armband,
well, fine, you can do that. But I mean, I don't think that's what's going to, in the end, determine whether the country moves in a more progressive position or not.
And David Beckham taking tens of millions from the Qataris when you've been a champion for gay rights? Yeah,
but I think, as some people have pointed out, he's had a long relationship with the Qataris over a period of years, and he's, I would frankly prefer the icon for the World Cup to be British rather than not. So
good luck to him if he makes 150 million.
I mean, it's in the end, this is what he does. And he's had a relationship with Qatar over many, many years, so I'm not stepping out.